Good afternoon.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Evie. How are you?
Good.
Excellent. Another week has flown by.
Yes, it has, hasn't it?
It really has. And here we are again. And hello to anyone and everyone who may be tuning in live or watching us on replay. This is Permission to Thrive Live. This is where we talk about all those gorgeous little saboteurs and their behaviors and how they show up in our language, in our thoughts, in our behaviors, and really putting that spotlight on why they are myths, that they're not truths, even though they may feel like them when they come up. But actually, when we shine that light on them and we start to look at them and what they may be attached to or where they may have come from, when we experience them, we can start to, I always see it as kind of loosen that grip that they have on us, kind of not be so led by them. The minute we are aware of them and we kind of recognize them, that grip tends to loosen. And I think that when we have these conversations, that really allows us to tap into that and hopefully help others realize, okay, so that voice that I keep on hearing, it's not me, it's this, and it's come from perhaps this place and this source, and I can do something about it. Yes.
For sure. And I think that before anyone else, we seem to enjoy this reminder, don't we? That okay, yeah, these voices have shown up in our lives. They are still showing up in one way or another. Some of them do, some of them don't. But still, it's always nice to have that refresher, isn't it? When it comes to anything, I suppose. Of course, when it comes to this type of myths and how they can stop us from actually showing up the way we are in reality,
Yes.
then it's even a better reason why we should be, keep on keeping on.
Yes.
And get busting, basically.
Yes. Expose them for what they truly are.
Absolutely.
And that frees us to be who we truly are. And that is the beauty of what we are doing here. And I was sharing with Evie before we came on live that I've kind of set all of our videos up on my YouTube channel. We've done like 77. We've had like 77 or 78 conversations around this. And it's just been such a joy to kind of recap that, because these conversations have been born from our joint experience of positive intelligence and how that has impacted us and how that's impacted how we cope and deal with those voices that were coming up for us, but then how we're now able to share that with others. Because, if you do the work, and we always talk about consistency here, if you do the work, the change will come. It can't not come if you do the work, but it's being consistent. So as Evie was saying there, these reminders, that's exactly what they are. They're to remind us. And the more we keep on reminding, that awareness raises, and then we start really challenging those thoughts and finding better ways and building new neural pathways. So let's crack on with today's phrases. And I think this week we're looking at the fear of visibility. So what's that first phrase we've got going on, Evie?
The one I kept saying to myself for a very, very long time, I'm not ready to be seen. It's just that sense of I'm camera shy. Not anymore, clearly. But this is a big saboteur, isn't it? Like a big myth, basically. What does it mean you're not ready to be seen? I mean, going back to the different videos that we have done, and I like one of them, the thing that I keep seeing is like, oh, my hair look this, and my hair look that, and my hair look whatever. And so it's like, you know, it's just to be seen. It's just a matter of like, just show up. People are not that interested in the picture as much as what is said, and the care that you put in. So yeah, that's, I think, more important.
Yeah,
so
it's a real judgment myth, you know, that, you know, I'm not ready to be seen, because usually what's behind it, just like you were saying, oh my gosh, my hair didn't look right, oh my gosh, I hate my voice, you know, all the kinds of things that start to come up. You know, I'm just not ready, you know, I don't know enough, you know, all of the many things that come up to support that I'm not ready to be seen. And actually, it's really about saying, this is me. This is me. I have something that I want to share. It may land with some, it may not land with others. That's not for me to decide. I'm going to share it anyway. You know, so for me, that it's about getting out of your own way, because every time you look for, or that reason comes up, that what will people think? What will they say? Will they agree? Won't they agree? We're not here to put that information out so that everybody agrees, because that's never going to happen. Who agrees with everything? Nobody. that never happens. So we don't have to worry about that. But if we feel that there's a message, there is something that we want to share, then of course we're ready to be seen. It's just taking that moment to say, I'm going to express this, and I'm also okay with what comes up out of it. If somebody challenges it, that's okay. If somebody dismisses it, if people are just like, who cares? Fine. But what about the 1, 2, 3 people who are like, oh, wow, that really meant something to me. That really resonated to me. They're the people who your message was for in the first place. And that's the importance of sharing the message, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, the thing is that we all have something to share, and you can see that in community. And the most important thing, I think, when we start seeing that, is when the people that were the quieter ones, they start speaking up. Why? Because others give, like, others give them that sense of permission to be seen again, to be heard. And I think it also stems from the fact that for a long time, some of us are conditioned that, you know, our voice is not to be heard. Like when we're children, how many times adults say, be quiet? No, you know, when you're speaking, when you're spoken to, and I don't know, all those, you know, things that they seem to be okay, but they're not really, because what happens is that that's when you start conditioning your children, and then you are thinking, oh, you know, why don't you use your common sense? Why don't you, like, you know, stand out or whatever? So you're giving them mixed signals. And of course, we then become adults, and like, we cannot really express the way we should, or we are expected the way that, you know, as humans should express, because everyone has an opinion, everyone has something to say, and as you said, it doesn't mean that it's going to be landing all right with everyone. Nobody ever said something and everybody agreed for it, right? So
exactly. Yeah. So, and I think that whole point about, you know, permission, giving yourself permission to utilize your voice, because that phrase that always used to say, you know, find your voice. You don't have to find it, you've got it. There is no voice to go find. You have a voice. It's whether you're ready to utilize it. It's whether you're ready to put it into action for the things that are truly important to you. They don't have to be truly important to everybody else. They really don't. You know, we come here every week, we talk about this. This may be of no interest to many people, but for the few people that it is of interest to, we're going to keep on showing up and we'll keep on talking and we'll keep on myth-busting, because if it helps a few more people to release themselves from the myths that have become almost like a coat of armor for them, I'll show up every week for that. I will show up. I will happily show up every week for that. And also because it's not only that we're showing up for those, but we're also doing it for ourselves, because these conversations that we keep on having and these myths that we keep busting are also helping us to release ourselves from these phrases, these stories, these narratives. And again, consistency is key. The more we talk about them, the more we expose them, the weaker a grip they have on us. And that already is a joy. Thank you very much indeed.
Absolutely. And I think that it goes so well with the work that we have done in positive intelligence, because in reality, the work in positive intelligence helps us like get a little bit more clear with those myths and be able to bust them. Because the myths, in essence, are things that our saboteurs keep reiterating, keep telling us, keep finding evidence for, and so on and so forth. Because we have said, right, that if you're looking for evidence for anything, there could be absolutely two things that are completely opposite, but you will find the evidence for this and for that. And that is the truth. So what evidence are you looking for? There you go.
Exactly. So I think to speak kind of that truth into that I'm not ready to be seen yet, it's about understanding that fear of judgment. What will others say? What will others think? That lack of value for your self-expression. So not trusting what you know or what you think you know or don't know. And actually just saying, I'm going to do it anyway. You know, my voice has power. It will resonate somewhere. And if nothing else, it will give me an experience of utilizing my voice. The message that I have may get clearer over time, may become more powerful over time. Great. But for that to happen, you have to start somewhere. You just have to get started.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that is the thing. It's like with positive intelligence, what I love is that that start is like few seconds in your day, few seconds that you can do something together with whatever it is that you're doing. So it doesn't even take away from, you know, your precious time.
Yeah.
But it makes a huge difference because it does compound, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You know, and it's simple. Again, just leading on from that, Evie, is that it doesn't have to be anything complex. You don't have to now go off and do a TEDx talk or whatever other, not to say that you shouldn't, but I'm just saying that may not be that step, but it may be just share an insight, share a story, share an idea, just do something so that you are projecting that voice out there. And don't worry about how and where it lands. Just get used to the process of doing that and then just see where that goes.
Absolutely, 100%. I completely agree with that. I think it was like maybe I don't know how many years, almost 8 years ago, that I decided I was going to just create a video every day, just to practice. Well, that was part of a New Year's resolution. You know how those go. Usually. Well, a few videos along the way, and mind you, I never published those videos. They were like videos for me. I still did not do them. I still did not, stick with that. Because, believe it or not, I was looking back in the videos. Now, I didn't like what I was saying. I was like, oh, no way. I can't give put that out there. And I kept stopping myself. But in reality, all I was doing is just finding another excuse not to share, not to be exposed, so other people can see what it is like to be exposed, and maybe give them the opportunity to do the same, or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So it does happen, and it hurts you when you are looking back and you're like, what was I thinking?
But you know what? But actually, it's really interesting that you said about you did the videos, although you didn't share them. But even that's a step. Even that's a step. Even if you do nothing else but do a couple of videos of you speaking, and even if it makes you feel uncomfortable, because many people do not like the sound of their voice. But even when I had my radio show, and people used to say, "Oh, I love that conversation." I'm just like, well, I remember it when I was in it, but I don't usually replay. Not because I don't like my voice. I'm just like, I was there. I so don't go back to it. But it's just like, just giving yourself that opportunity to take a step. And if the step is, well, I'm going to write down what I'd like to say, if that's done, and that's one step. Now pull out your phone and talk to your phone, because then it's just you and your phone. Who cares, right? And just keep on doing that until you feel ready to put something out there, whatever that something is.
Yeah. And okay, because we're talking about video, I think that also because it is a matter of being authentic. And I think, like, for me, for example, in those days, it was more like I need to show something, and that wouldn't necessarily be how I am, like I am here. It would be something that I thought I should be projecting. And there is where you take away from your own authentic self, and you start to try to script yourself, and I cannot be scripted for the life of me. Or I can, but I just don't like it. So it is like this.
Yes.
You need to be authentic. What does it mean to be authentic? Be you. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's what whoever is going to resonate with you will like. And the others, like thousands of others, I hope we are seen by thousands, and they don't like us, fine.
I'll take that, even if they don't like us.
I don't have a problem with that either,
Absolutely.
So yeah, that is the thing. It's like, and being seen also doesn't necessarily mean being on video or talking, your truth.
Yes.
Is actually be seen in your family, be seen at your work, right?
Yes.
How are you seen? Or what do you mean you're not ready to be seen, like, somewhere? Think about that, because it affects everything, doesn't it? When it comes to, it's not about it's like you don't want your inner thoughts to come out, or you don't want to say something that's going to upset somebody. How does that help? And is that sustainable as well? Because you might be able to hold on to the things, like when you start a new relationship and everything is lovely and everybody's perfect. And then you start living with somebody, and then perfection just falls away a bit, right? Why? Because it's not sustainable. You can't sustain that facade, because you need to be the authentic you, right? And you need to be heard.
Absolutely. And I love that you brought in that thing about, I'm not ready to be seen. It is not just that we were talking about video because we happen to be doing video, but it's about how we're seen in any area of our life. And when women in particular talk about being invisible, feeling invisible, you may feel it, but what is it that you are saying or not saying, doing or not doing, that's allowing that to feel like your reality?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it's that it's your fault. This is not about that, but this is like that self-leadership bit. Well, what am I doing to ensure that that is not the case? What role am I playing? Am I using my voice? Am I using my presence? Am I letting my thoughts be known? Because if people don't think that you have a thought or an opinion or something, they very soon talk over you and around you and kind of block you out. So then whose responsibility is that? Is it theirs or is it yours? You then need to show up and just say, well, hold on a moment, I'm part of this conversation too. So we have to be really mindful how we talk about visibility and invisibility, how we feel it. And I know that don't get me wrong, invisibility, yes, it absolutely does. It does show up. We have to say, how are we contributing to it? And what are we doing to stop it?
But this is such an important point that you're making, Yvonne, because we do need to use our own leadership in everything that we do, and we need to show up in a way that is true to us. And when we take control of the situation, and I'm not talking about I'm just talking about not letting the excuse of like, oh, what could I do? Well, there's always something you can do, but it's not about judgment. It's not about judging you or judging yourself or judging, whatever the situation or others. It's about just realizing it, being aware once again, and awareness is what will lead to a better control probably of the situation. So your voice can be heard. It doesn't mean that your voice is way more important than everybody else's voice, but your voice needs to be heard as well, right?
Yes, indeed. I mean, there's so much.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of feel in this, because I think even the root causes that you called out earlier, being told as a child, speak when you're spoken to, be quiet, shh, all of those things that become normalized in the day-to-day being, and how they then impact you later. Like, this is not a time for me to talk. I've not been invited to speak yet. And all those kind of things, how that comes up, in your adult life. And understanding that, now's a really good time to break free of those thoughts, those narratives that have been running in the background. So and that's the other thing, is that sometimes you're not even aware that that's the thing that's running in the background. That's the thing that's stopping you from being vocal. That's the thing that's stopping you from saying what is true to you. And guilt, shame, lots of other things that can be tied in.
Absolutely.
There is so many things, right?
I mean, we could talk about this forever.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
absolutely.
So much that it's tied into this.
100%.
And I was thinking also, like when you say, I'm invisible, or I can't say, is like, maybe I'm too much. I shouldn't be speaking, because I talk a lot. So I say that for myself. I mean, I do. I do talk a lot. I love talking. What can I say?
Yes.
But it was also something that I heard a lot when I was a child. Mike, you don't stop talking. So it straight away, what does that signal? It signals like, oh, I'm too much.
Yeah.
So it is something, always something that is bringing back to this.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
We need to understand it, unpack it, and myth bust it.
Yeah. and choose better narratives, better stories to work from. Like, I actually do have something to say, and I give myself permission to have a say. My voice has power now. I don't have to wait until I don't know when before I get to utilize it. So we have to speak, power into ourselves, so that we can give ourselves the permission to do these things. And so important. Anyway, let's do phrase 2.
For about 5 minutes. Because
I think we've probably covered it already, but let's go there anyway. So so phrase 2 is, what will people think? And again, this comes back to judgment, doesn't it? What will people think? If I say this, oh my goodness. If I do this, oh my goodness. All of this comes back.
Absolutely. And I think that this also is more important for us, especially on social media, when it comes to like showing up in our own private channels, let's say, where our friends are there, our relatives are there, and what will they be thinking? Oh, you know, I'm showing up like, I don't know, like this and talking whatever, and what are they going to think? No, maybe I shouldn't. And then you start your shouldn'ts, but it doesn't matter. Really, it doesn't matter, because whoever thinks against or something, they will not just sit there and just listen to you, right? And that's all right. That's okay. They will go and find something else that they want to listen to, and it's okay, right? But again, taking it away from the social media and the videos and stuff, what the people that really think badly, probably they're not the people that you want in your circle anyway, even if they are in your close circle. Because people that think different to you, and I feel that, and I believe that for myself, like people that think not different to you, because everybody thinks, you know, different things, but when they have they are ready to discuss it, that's a very different thing from just judging, right? And these are the people you need to have in your life, because maybe something that we think as well, or, you know, it can be challenged, and we like things to, you know, to challenge us. And I mean, personally, I do like to be challenged. I don't know about you, but
I'm all for different opinions, because my personal take on that is that it broadens my perspective. If I hear different opinions and different ways of looking at things, I can suddenly think, wow, I would never have thought of that, or I would never have done that way. But that's food for thought. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to take it on board, but that it broadens my view and my perspective. That for me feels like a good thing. And I think this thing with what will people think, it's really that you're prioritizing perceptions that you probably don't even know, right? Because you're just assuming over your purpose. Because generally when we feel passionate about something, there is a purpose, there is a reason. And what we're saying is that actually people's perceptions are more important than my purpose. Oh my goodness, no. No, no, no. And just as you were saying, Evie, those who don't want to listen won't listen. So why are you even worrying about that? And those who call you out or, you know, judge you, and I know that there's a lot of this that happens on social media, you know, you have to remember they also have judges. They also have saboteurs running their shows. And we need to be empathetic towards that, because if they have zero control or zero knowledge or awareness of those, they're allowing them to run the show. Are you now going to allow theirs to run yours? So we have to be really thoughtful about this. How, you know, we may speak our truth and that may trigger someone in some shape or form. That doesn't make them immediately the enemy. This doesn't immediately make this a battle, because we can discuss, we can debate, and we can agree to disagree. We don't even have to come to the same page at the end of it all. That's all okay. So this thing about what will people think will think what they're going to think. And we have zero control over what people will think. So why are we even stepping into that arena? Why are we even allowing that to become the thing that stops us from being our authentic self, speaking our truth, saying what matters to us? If I say what matters to me, guess what? It matters to me. If it means nothing to Evie and anyone else on the planet, that's because it means nothing to them, but it matters to me. Thus, I feel free to share that. And I'm good with that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like to be able to own your thoughts, your truth, and also be ready to be challenged and be ready to grow, because
Yes.
sharing opinions, sharing spaces, having like constructive discussions and debates, that's growth. That has nothing to do with judgment, and that's lovely, actually.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's the reason why I love community, because it's not about, like, we often hear that, where like-minded people are coming together and stuff, but that doesn't mean that there are no debates. That doesn't mean that there are no challenges. That doesn't mean that there are no difference of opinions in those spaces. But
Indeed.
how we tackle those, and how we are open to the possibilities of, hearing something and potentially understanding something else or growing through it. Well, that is the beauty of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think in community, and that's such an interesting point, because, we do often that, oh, like-minded people. Like-minded people doesn't mean to say that we are duplicates of each other and we all think the same and we all do the same and we all want the same. That's not it. It's that we have a connecting factor that is important to us.
Yeah.
How we then discuss that and open that is can be incredibly challenging, because we've all got different life experiences. And even if some of those experiences are similar, or, we can all tell our little bit of the story and how that has impacted us as individuals. So I think, we just can't spend the rest of our lives worrying about what will people think and expecting people to think as we think. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. We have an opportunity, and we absolutely have the right to use our platforms to express what it is that's going on for us, to express what feels true to us. As long as we can do that without expecting others to go, yay, I think that's amazing and brilliant and great. Some will, and guess what? Some won't, and some won't even give a damn. And it's okay. It's all okay.
It's all okay. That's it. I think that is the actual word we should close with, because it is all okay. It's there is no right or wrong in so many respects. And as we said earlier, evidence can be found for everything that you're looking for evidence for. So why would you not want to express who you are and how you want to show up?
Indeed.
Because somebody decided that, or at some point somebody disagreed with you, and now you're like, I'm not going to share this.
Or even you think somebody has disagreed with you before they've even had an opportunity to agree or disagree with you, right? Because we're talking about what will people think. Sure. That's us thinking, right? We don't even know yet. And so for me, it's also about understanding, even if somebody thinks differently and it's in contradiction to what you say and what you think, just remember that that's them and that's their opinions. Their opinions do not change your truth if your truth is your truth.
Yep, that's it. That's it. I think I'm going to stop here, Yvonne, because we can actually discuss this for a very long time.
Yes. Yeah. I love these myth busting moments, because it not only is it about sharing, but as I said at the beginning, it's also what we get from it. And actually, the amount of self-realization that happens is, pretty powerful. So that's why sometimes these 30 minutes go on for more than 30 minutes. I think almost all of them have. Is because sometimes there's this stuff that's coming up, and just like, oh yeah, I need to share that, because that's what's coming up right now. And that's born from own experiences and own understanding and translating. And when we speak out, that's the other thing. When we speak out, we start to really understand what's been held inside, you know, and be able to look at it. And that's a positive thing. So
100%.
with all of that said, again, just thanking everyone who has tuned in, whether it's live, whether it's on replay. And our parting statement is always that at Permission to Thrive, we're here to help you break free from the narratives that keep you caged.
With grace, not grind.
What it's all about. Excellent. Fantastic.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you so much, Evie.
Thank you.